All right, friends, it's T-Mon. We back with a new video this morning. And guess who it's on? Of course, JasonBlaha, the lifting, gym, recruiting, steroid slave. Yes, man, himself, JasonBlaha. All right, let's see what JasonBlaha has to say this morning. Gonna review this video. There is no age limit on lifting heavy. Interesting. Okay. Well, there's no age limit on working as a factory worker either, any labor job. Jason, I don't know what he's talking about.
You can lift heavy at pretty much any age. Hey guys and gals, today I thought I would chat with you guys a little bit about this.
No, really? Why do you have to lift so heavy? Why do you have to lift heavy? Because you can't lift a heavy weight? You can't lift 10 times your body weight? I think it's gorillas, right? They could lift 10 times their body's weight, their body weight. And so can fucking ants, but it's the amount of muscle they're carrying on them, and yeah, and even below their body weight. Here's the thing: they could lift well below their body weight. So 10 times they could lift 10 times their body weight, which is below their body weight. Yeah. So can humans do that? No, they can't do that. So what do? They practice at lifting heavy weight like this guy, and he's going to convince you that it's going to somehow build your body these weights again.
It's one of those things where, I always see people say silly stuff like, oh, after 40, you can't lift heavy. By the way, I'm 47.
No, you can't lift heavy. You shouldn't lift heavy because it deteriorates you and it'll destroy you. It'll destroy you. You're falling apart. With every decade, you're falling apart. I'm not saying you shouldn't lift a weight. I'm not saying you shouldn't do any extracurricular activity, you understand me? But also, I'm not also saying you shouldn't eat either.
You guys see what I'm doing in these clips. I'm 47 years old. Granted, I have a long history of training, but
could have fooled me. I thought he was like 80, moving on to 80 or something. Jesus.
I've also had downtime. I had 3 years where I couldn't lift at one point, spent a year in bed sick, so I did rebuilds. I haven't maintained.
Let's get one thing straight. Any labor job is going to accelerate aging. Here's another thing. If I posted this in my community section about glycation. I had no idea about that. I started researching more about skin and stuff in the sun. And I didn't know it was that bad. Eating plant foods and sugar and going out in the sun causes glycation. Because I couldn't figure out why my face I had so many lines. Like, every time you do certain things, the structure of your face is changing as you get older. The bone structure, your skin is changing. You could say cells are folding. You're trying to get them to unfold. A whole wide array of things are happening, and you have no control over it. But you're trying to fix it. You're trying to control it. That's the thing. Well, people will tell you, scientists will say, well, it has to do with programming. Yeah, it could have something to do with programming. There are hormones that, correct these programs, like, I don't know, what is it? Human chronic gonadotropin. It's a natural hormone. It's not synthetic, providing it's not synthetic. You understand me? So it will mimic the same hormone in your body so it doesn't cause a disruption. The worst kind of hormones or peptides are those that are synthetic. Yeah, they're bad. Let's just say they're bad for you. HCG is probably the only hormone out there that's real, because growth hormone is synthetic, the steroids are synthetic, but HCG, human, that's why they call it human chronic gonadotropin, because it's human, and it's actually a lot more powerful than growth hormone itself, HCG, because it's made up of more peptides. That's why it's a lot more. You could read it up online, man. People are going to say, well, HCG, these people use it to, swing back after cycles on steroids. No. It's more powerful than growth hormone. They're going to say, well, growth hormone. No. HCG is more powerful. It creates the fetus. It's used to protect the fetus inside the woman's wound, and it's a very powerful hormone collected off of pregnant women. That's what it is, really. A peptide that's collected from pregnant women when they're carrying a child in their stomach. They produce a very powerful peptide called HCG, which is produced by your pituitary, secondary part of pituitary. So yeah, these peptides, they help definitely program your body to do certain things. I don't know. I'm not taking it, never took it, but anyways, you never know. It's a consideration as you get older. You definitely do not want to deteriorate, right? But it's extremely hard to get in North America, even with prescription. I don't know. You could get it in Mexico, but you never know if you're getting fake shit over the counter now anymore. Steroids are fake there. I can tell you this, steroids in Mexico are all fake, man. Ever since they passed the law in, I think it was the early 90s, my friends all told me, these people, before they were taking steroids, they said that anything they bought there was fake. Didn't work. So there you go. How do you know if your HCG is working? Well, it's kind of obvious. If you could get a pregnancy test, right? You can put a few drops of the HCG onto the pregnancy test to see if it shows that it says it'll show that it says pregnant. Because of course, pregnant women produce HCG. So you just put a few drops, and if the color changes, you'll know that it's not fake. It's kind of obvious. There you go. Self-test, home test. I heard that before somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, yeah.
Yes, obviously all the way through. Although obviously I have maintained it, for a very, very long time since then. But people say this stuff and they use it as an excuse. And I'm like, look, this whole
JasonBlaha is on artificial hormones called steroids. He's admitted to it.
idea that, because your joints and other stuff, heavy training and training correctly will build your joints. It will build your tendons, right?
No, well, lifting heavy is not going to build your tendons or your joints, especially the older you get. You're going downhill. What's going to build up your body is being in an anabolic growth state. If you can eat that much, if you can eat unlimited amounts of food and be in an anabolic growth state, then your body will start growing. These tendons and everything will start coming back to a degree. But remember, you are aging.
Building muscle will stable.
Here's the thing, you're deteriorating faster than you're aging because you're doing certain things that are turning on growth mechanisms and food that's deteriorating you and a whole bunch of things, man. Glycation, the sun, this, that. It's deteriorating you, these phony foods.
These things. And when I say heavy, I don't mean swinging around ego lifting. I will make that point. Yes, if you are an older lifter, you shouldn't be ego lifting. You should be using good form on stuff. You should be getting good stretches, right? You shouldn't be doing a lot of cheat stuff. I'm not even saying, I don't even think the younger guys should be doing that, but they can get away with it. That is what you can't get away with when you get older. But to say that you can't max out, that you can't deadlift 600 pounds or squat 500 or bench over 300 just because you're over 40 or you're 50 years old or something else.
This guy's crazy, but why do you have to bench press over 300? Why do you have to deadlift 500? Why do you have to strive to lift such a heavy weight if your body was never made to lift that heavy? See what I mean? Me personally, I think you should build muscle because that's what's really going. And when the muscle goes, everything else is going to go. Your life is going to go. It's going to be cut shorter. A whole bunch of things. If you know how to focus on it, it's just periodically. It's periodic based on periodic lifting to try to build more muscle. More muscle, yes. I'm not talking about crazy massive glycogen loading and loading energy in your muscles.
Absolutely not true. You may not be able to build enough muscle to lift those weights.
Listen to what he said. You may not be able to build enough muscle to lift those weights. It's not based on muscle. This is practiced strength. Hello, it's based on trying to proliferate the motor units. It's based on CNS, proliferation of motor units, and androgen receptors for maximum force production. Man, science tells you everything. This guy, I don't know what's the matter with him. This is practice strength, because if it wasn't, why don't you just bench 400 off the bat? Because you can't. That's why. None of you can. Nobody can bench 400 without practicing. Fuck me. You can't do anything in this world without practice. You have to practice to be good at it.
It's the muscle that may be the limitation, not your body, your joints, your things like that.
Yeah, but again, what happens when you first do a sport or anything? You feel really sore for days. You play a lot. You go there for the first time. You're really bad at it, and because you're bad at it, you do so much of it, a lot of it. And what happens the next day? Oh, I'm sore for days, Mom. Oh my God. Your whole body's sore. Okay, it's going through a repair and remodeling. It's calibrating you to be good at doing that sport or that movement or whatever the hell you're doing there. Now, Lifting a heavy weight, though, that's different. You got to keep practicing at it. That's an adaptation in like motor unit and androgen receptor strength, the CNS. Yeah, see what I mean?
And I will be clear, you shouldn't be ego lifting. And I think that's the problem. You'll see a lot of guys, well, I got hurt doing this or that. I'm like, you got hurt ego lifting.
You got hurt ego lifting. In other words, I got hurt because I try to lift a super heavy weight and I can't lift it. So I got hurt. How stupid is that? Wouldn't you want to make yourself super strong instead of being super good at lifting a heavy weight? Because won't that come later eventually? I mean, you could focus on lifting a heavy weight, but then you'll have a small weak body and get injured like Blaha does all the time. Or you could focus on building your body big and strong. But again, you need money to build your body. Money builds everything in this world. And people, I guess, say, well, I got a fake Rolex and I got a fake Ferrari. Yeah, they're shit. They're shit. They're fake. If you want to build a real Ferrari or a real Rolex or a house, that house, you need money. How do you build a body? You need money. You need to eat. You need to eat a lot. I'm not kidding. People always ask me, hey man, how did you build your body? I always told them, money. Money built my body. Without money, I could not build my body. It's impossible. In this realm, in this reality, this world. Yeah. You need money. You got to eat. And a lot. Which he doesn't.
Look what I'm doing in this video. Do you see me flopping around, doing cheat reps, swing?
He's fantasizing. That body is less than subpar. And it's deteriorating faster and faster. And he's lifting a heavy weight and eating fucking ridiculously slave food, tofu and pasta all day, and beans and whatever else, coffee.
Bouncing weights. No, everything's controlled. And yes, it's all fairly heavy, right? But notice the difference on all this heavy work. Again, this is how you should train heavy as you start to get older.
This is how you should train heavy as you get older. Why do you need to be a lifting slave at all? Lift anything, Blaha. Why not just build your body big and strong so it can lift the weight without practice? How about that?
But the age thing is ridiculous because
Why do you have to rely on practice strength to lift something? Why not just build your body big and strong and then you can lift a heavy weight? Providing you don't fucking mess up your body or get crippled or something. I don't know. Then again, you may get a disease. Who the fuck knows in this world? Anything can fucking happen. I mean, I personally have something wrong with my nerves. I had some fucking nerve damage. It's so messed up. It can't affect me lifting. You know, it does affect me sometimes. So yeah, my back is really killing me after doing some stuff. But anyway.
I've seen powerlifters in their 70s. I mean, I was at a powerlifting meet a couple years ago. It was a Texas State Championship. And I talked to a couple who were there. This guy was 75 and his wife was 74, and they were competing in powerlifting. Now, granted, he wasn't lifting 500 or 600 pounds, but he was still dead.
Yeah, great. Yeah, he was lifting that, whatever. When did he start? Oh, he started at 60. Most power lifters, I told you, in their early 20s, they're gone. They've disappeared. Go online, look for them. They've disappeared. They're gone, bro. They quit. They're not doing it anymore. That got injured or something, and they drop off the planet. Get it? They're not doing this shit no more. And then it's like marathon runners. They all died of heart attacks. They go, oh, look at this guy. He's 80, 90 years old running a marathon. Yeah, because he never ran a marathon before in his life. That's why he lived to 90 or 100. And now they're starting to fucking either lift or they're starting to run marathons. Blaha's fucking done, man. He's almost done. He's reaching 50. This deterioration is ridiculous.
Lifting over 300. Right? He's 75 years old.
What should I call him? Deteriorating slave? Yes.
Yeah, just seen me deadlift 635 in my late 40s before. Clean, pretty.
Saw you lifting that in your 40s, but not anymore.
I've known coaches who have grandmas doing 1 rep maxes. And I think we need to put that in context.
Yeah, they put them on these fucking drugs, right? They give it to them, they're old already, and they give them these drugs, and then they go out and they lift a heavy weight, right? Or they lift something, whatever, the so-called grandmas, whatever, for 1 RM. Let me see them doing it repetitively. Man, these people are crazy.
He has grandmas doing 1 rep maxes and then like maxing on all their big lifts once a month just to.
Who cares if they could do 1 rep max? And what good is a 1 rep? What good is lifting something once? What good is that? What's the purpose? Destroy yourself, then cause an injury or something in your spine? What the fuck?
Test and see where they are. I've known a coach who does that, running a very successful gym and business and coaching business.
Hey, look, guys, I could lift this heavy weight once. Ooh. And they're like, oh, yeah, oh, that was cool. Whatever.
Guess what? Because he's supervising it, they're not getting hurt. Right? There's nothing inherently dangerous about lifting heavy. And again, heavy being relative.
Yes, there is, because you can't lift it. It's based on practiced strength. You can't lift it. That's why it's dangerous. Have you seen that thing of sober power lifter, whatever his name is? That video I put up. Look at the weight landing on his fucking back of his neck. He was even shaky doing 405, trying to squat 405 because he's getting weaker. He's crazy. He's deteriorating. His food is deteriorating him, and he's deteriorating faster than he's aging.
Relative to your ability. Right? Same thing even with max lift. Max lifts are not particularly dangerous in the grand scheme of things. If you use good form, you use proper loading, okay? You're not going to get hurt. The odds of it are very, very, very small. You're more likely to get hurt on your way to the gym in a car accident than you are with correct.
In Canada, we lose 20.
On your way to the gym in a car accident than you are with correctly performed heavy lifting.
Oh, great. Like, that's ever going to happen. Like, that happens every day. Yeah, okay, Blaha. What a comparison. He's crazy.
But that is the thing. It's not the heavy lifting you need to be worried about with age. It's ego lifting.
Yes, it is. It is with age. You should. People are deteriorating. That's why they fall down, break their hip, and then they die. Or they get some blood thing, clot something in their right leg, and they go to hospital and they're dead. They die, get it? And they break bones easily. Older people, the older you get, you break a bone. Didn't ever think I was going to bust any bones, but I wrecked my ankle. Man. What the fuck? Because I'm an older person, like 50. Breaking it at 50, come on, man. It's like, what the fuck? You understand me? Yeah, dude. You're getting old. Yeah, it was a twisting motion. I don't know if I was younger. That twisting motion may not have broken it. Who knows? I'm not really sure. But as an older person, I twisted the shit out of it and I wrecked it. I caused a fracture in it. So there you go. So, yeah, gonna break bones as you get older, regardless. You can try to increase the bone density by eating. If you eat your natural food and eat a lot of it, then yeah, it's a possibility you could restore it because you could be in what we would call an anabolic growth state. But remember, every time you grow, especially as you get older, every time you grow, you accelerate aging. That's what happens.
You need to be worried about it.
And labor will increase aging. Yeah, labor jobs, labor work, it'll accelerate it. Now eating, being an anabolic growth state eating, no, it turns on a bunch of factors and could accelerate aging because you're growing.
Poor fatigue management, overuse injuries, right? Because let's be honest here, what really beats you up as you get older? Something I've observed with every year the longer I train. As we get older, we can't tolerate the really high volumes the same way.
That's a lie. I can tolerate high volumes because I notice I have better energy and handle higher volume as an older person being on a natural diet. But if you eat on natural food or engineered man-made food, you're going to have problems all the time, man. Just, a high-fat animal diet. I try to strive for higher fat, animal fat, which helps a lot. A lot of people have claimed that. Plus, it helps with your skin and a bunch of other stuff.
We just can't. I notice the fatigue becomes incredible.
Yeah, because he's still on drugs, eating tofu, pasta, and all these coffee, whatever, and then he's lifting. So he's using speed, sugar as a drug. He's using it as energy, and that's not the preferred energy of the body. That eventually deteriorates and destroys mitochondria, which are the powerhouses that power your body. So they function better on animal fat. That's right. That's what they do. Science will tell you that.
The risk of overuse becomes incredible. I had my first shoulder issues when I decided to do this experiment where I was going to do 100 chin-ups every single day or 100 pull-ups every day.
Yeah, overuse. Think about it. You're a factory worker, 6 hours a day, moving boxes all day. That's a lot of hours. I'd say there's a lot of overuse. But they're not totally deteriorating, are they, Blaha? You're deteriorating because you're going over the maximum what you should be lifting. And so, yeah, you're causing structural damages, some of the joints and stuff, and maybe they're never coming back, bro. But you're eating an artificial diet. Oxalates, these crystals, they form in there. The more you eat of them, more you ingest of them, the more they're going to cause havoc on your joints.
Right? That's when my shoulder issues first started that I've had to rehab. Right? It's overuse that gets us. But when
you think about it, why do you have to rehab your shoulder? Why does Blaha have to rehab his shoulder? Overuse. Why overuse? I thought that lifting was was healthy for you. It promotes health and well-being and all this kind of weird shit. Oh, it deteriorates you, does it? Deteriorated your shoulder, eh? You need to go to rehab. I thought fitness is rehab. Oh, I guess. I know. Lifting these weights, they don't rehab you. They destroy you. Yes, okay.
Start limiting volume and you just focus on heavy work.
So then you could do what he did. Go to rehab.
Quality sets. And again, I still do some high rep stuff in here, mind you. Granted, you're seeing a lot of, 6 to 10 rep stuff here in this video.
Yes. Of course, I always wanted to go to rehab. That's why I go to the gym, so I could destroy myself and then show up at rehab, right? Yeah. Maybe use the insurance money too, right? Yeah. Tell them I fucking deteriorated myself. Lifting heavyweight. Yes, okay.
But I still do a little bit of stuff higher, right? I think 12.
Isn't that why Blaha's on disability? Why is he on disability? Oh, fuck. Nah, it's not. Yeah, they wouldn't give it to him because he's lifting weights. He gave it to him because he suffers from mental problems. He's mental. Shit.
13, things like that are still good. Still plenty of room for that stuff. But it's excessive amounts of sets, particularly excessive amount of reps. That seems to be what really truly fatigues us and creates more problems as you start to get older. The heavy work doesn't. Again, context being, what does your heavy lifting look like? And I'm not telling you to try to max out.
Damn, look at those man boobs. Yeah, you're so sexy, Blaha. Man, he's so sexy. All his minions and men are drooling over him right now. They're watching him say, oh, my Blaha, my sexy Blaha. Oh, yeah.
Not all the time, because that will beat you up also. But I mean, heavy 5, 6.
That's pure sarcopenia right there. Those legs and everything, those arms, sarcopenia with a big blocky waist.
8, 10 rep sets with good form.
Yes.
We do great on those in middle age. And again, I see plenty of older lifters who handle power.
I like how he gets up and he goes, oh, he's like lifted. He squeezes his hands, flares out his shoulders, try to pretend like he's fucking big and shit and all that. He's not big, man. He's got an unusual weird rib cage sticking out. He's got kyphosis in the back. And, yeah, it's all fake, man. It's just a bunch of cotton and stuffing inside there. Fake stuff with some glycogen.
Lifting and maxing just fine. So the thing that we need to be looking at is excessive volume. We need to be looking at...
Have you ever heard of these people that used to swallow cotton balls? Yeah, cotton balls, man. They used to swallow them. It's to curb their appetite. So they'd have these people, they'd swallow cotton balls. It's crazy. Can you imagine fucking cotton balls? What the fuck? That really got to wreak havoc on your system, eating cotton balls. See, humans can eat anything. They even eat cotton balls. Maybe Blaha eats cotton balls. He might be made out of cotton balls for all we know.
Looking at our forum, look at some of the guys you see who are really in the game still past 50.
This guy from Superhuman Troy, doesn't he do this? It's called the balloon method. He does this, the training. He calls it the balloon method to getting the glycogen in the muscles. Yeah.
Who are still jacked, who are still strong. Notice they all use really good form on everything. And good form doesn't mean what some people think good form means trying to do 5-second negatives and things. No. That's not good form. That's just it being excessively slow. And that's not good for muscle growth, by the way. The research has never been kind to that.
Yes, that's not good for muscle growth. Yes. Yes, these people have all the answers. Yes. Gotta go through all this stuff. Gotta get that muscle growth, yes. There's no muscle growth there. There's nothing going on.
Good form just means, do you have control? Are you taking muscles into deep stretches? Are you avoiding using significant amounts of cheating?
Your muscles stopped growing when you were a teenager around 15. They stopped growing. Yes, they stopped growing.
Body English or swinging to do reps, right? Doesn't mean everything is super slow, as long as it's controlled. Good control. Good technique. Working the muscles that you're trying to work, right? Like me bench pressing, making sure my chest is doing most of the work on my bench. Obviously triceps and delts are still going to get worked. But I'm not using bouncing, not lifting my butt off the bench. Using a proper touch point, knowing where to touch the bar. Keeping the wrist stacked. That's what we mean by good form. Good, clean technique with good biomechanics. Right? That is what we need to do. We do not need to be afraid of lifting heavy. Because again, heavy doesn't equate, cheating and ego lifting. Right? It's not the same thing as people cheat and ego lift with lightweights too. So avoid that. You'll be fine. And limit your volume. Don't get overuse injuries. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
Very informative. Don't get any overuse injuries, guys. Come on. Listen to Blaha. He knows, he's knowledgeable on it. Otherwise, it's back to rehab for all of you. Anyways, man, I don't know. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. See you in the next video, broski. Yes, Blaha. Man, this guy's really nuts. See you in the next one. Ciao, friends.